Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. I just did another video on updating all that's been done since the previous video on this project, so you may want to go back and watch that if you're not up to date. But this video is going to cover installing the OSB. I have a ledger board here. That's there for a couple reasons. It worked out perfect, really. The distance between the bottom of the sole plate and the top of the parapet is with gaps, 1/8-inch gap between the OSB panels, works out to exactly 3.5 panels. So one panel here, one there, and one at the top. Well, 3.5 panels with this 3.5-inch 1x4 treated. So this is glued and screwed into place. So it's got glue going, there's a continuous glue line. So no moisture and air can get in this way. It has sill sealer under the sill, and this will get glue on the top, and then the OSB will be dropped on top of that. So it's going to be a very tight seal. I have to cut the OSB a bit above this, and then just a little bit into the window opening. This will get trimmed back with the oscillating saw. This gets another part of the sill put on here after the foam is put on. So this gets OSB, then foam, then the furring strips that'll hold the siding, and this sill will go out all the way to the edge of the furring strips. That's what the window is attached to. I was hoping I could get this done before the AC went on, but this one isn't too bad. It's that junky little one we've been using that makes the most noise. So it sounds fairly complicated, but the new way of building stuff is definitely nowhere near as simple as it used to be. You have to get a certain amount of insulation in your walls, and the walls have to breathe so that you don't get mold and mildew and rot inside your walls. When houses were first super insulated, I don't know, maybe it was in the 80s or so, they just did it completely wrong, and the government mandated these wrong procedures, and a lot of houses just rotted really badly, the way they did their moisture barriers and stuff. This design is by Building Science. Well, the ledger and a whole lot of it is my own design, but the sandwich, the OSB, then the foam, then the furring strip, that is from Building Science, and that's how the house is built. And the house is so well sealed and insulated that it takes, if we're burning wood, we can do it with less than a cord a winter, and we get 40 below here. So hopefully this room, with all of its windows, it's got 11 windows and 2 window doors, hopefully it won't be that bad. We want to have a place where we can enjoy this beautiful view. So hence the windows and a couple ceiling fans and blah blah blah. Yeah, that's one of the big problems with, when you have super insulated houses. The less windows you have, the better it's going to be insulated, but the less windows, the less livable your house is. So it's kind of a fine line. In the end, we want this to be able to be shut off if we need to, and have its own heating and cooling source. That way this can be minimally heated. So in the winter this can be quite cool in here. Not freezing, but it can be really cool in here. And it can be much warmer in the house. And then the addition that's going to go here can be kept pretty cool during the day and warmed a little bit at night, because this will be all bedrooms. Possibly a lower area, but I'm still not sure on the final design of this. So with all that said, it's time to get some OSB on here. On this opening right here, I'm going to cut my OSB a tad wider because I can get a flush trim bit on this. Here I can't. I just don't have enough room back here to ride a flush trim bit on this, and it's going to be a little bit uneven. So what I'm going to do is just cut it right to length. This has a 5-degree bevel, so if I cut it just a hair below, if I do need to run an oscillating tool across there, it'll just take minutes, you know, to knock the little corner off of it. So I'm going to cut right here at 26 and then cut right there. This panel and this panel are kind of a mirror. This is 15 feet from that corner to the edge of this door. So both panels are going to have a notch in it, one going one way, one going the other way. Well, this is only yay wide, so that one's going to be wider on the side. No big deal. This right here, I'm going to go vertical with, I think. I have it blocked for the other way, but looking at it, oh no, that's right. I want to get this corner, or this top of this door, encapsulated in the panel because it's quite a bit stronger that way. So I'll do this the same as well. So I got my panel ready, and I really love this 8-foot straight edge. So all I'm going to do is get that on there, and then I clamp one end, and then, I clamp both ends, draw my line, and then I have a line going that way, cut them both out, and I'll start nailing them in place. Oh, I'll start gluing and nailing them in place. All of these OSB panels are going to be glued and nailed in place, and screws here and there where needed. It's incredibly strong, and it stops the movement of vapor between the joints. So it's just a real high quality way to construct stuff. The house is built that way, and we had 85-mile-an-hour winds during a bad storm a few years back, and the house didn't even make a creak. So let me grab some clamps. Yeah, today was supposed to rain, so they took it out of the forecast. So I started working right now, and I just went up to update my computer, and they put it back in. Isolated thunderstorms, but it's at 4 o'clock, so hopefully I can get what I need to get done before the rain, if it even comes. Isolated thunderstorms doesn't actually mean it's going to rain. Once I get 2 panels in and trimmed, I'm going to go back and prime the cut edges, because this is going to sit in rain here and there before it's done, and OSB swells just horribly if it's got cut edges that aren't painted left in the elements. So let's start cutting. That first panel I cut backwards. No problem. It's going to fit exactly. This is a mirror image, so this will fit on that side. So I redid it. The only difference is this rough side goes out, and I don't know if there's, going to be any difference in the end. I always thought this rough side was just so that you have a grip, like if you're using this on roofs or whatnot. But anyways, that one will go on that side, and this one will go right here. But I had to stop real quick. I forgot all about these. I believe it's a 1/2 inch gap here, and then I have this right here. I left this a little bit shy so I could fill that. What I'm going to do is fill this area here with foam. I'm going to foam back into here too, and then later on when I do the insulation, I'll foam from that side, and I'll fill this whole area behind this stud with foam. Oh, the air conditioner again. And I'll do the same thing on the other side and along here. Yeah, I don't know how much I'll do here because this, this is a heated space and this is a heated space, so I don't need a whole lot of insulation between the two. But I do have to get these two done. We have geese flying south. So what I'm going to do is use Great Stuff Pro. That's what I used. You can actually see it. When these were put on, they had like a cleat holding them on until the glue dried. When we took the cleats off, you squirt that in the hole. You don't want any openings whatsoever in the rain screen. So you, in between the, oh, I got a cat. I was wondering where she was. In between the panels, it's foamed as well. I'm going to use these panels used a foam glue made by the same company as well, but I'm not a big fan of that stuff. So I'm going to use regular foam board adhesive, which is incredibly strong. I'm going to use that, screw it and cleat it to the OSB, and then do the same thing, fill the holes afterwards. But for now, how you use this is you need a gun. This is a different gun than, it says new and improved. I don't see what's new or improved about it except it's black and the old one was silver. I don't know, maybe it's easier. Yeah, it's got a hose barb on there. I can't remember if the old one had the hose barb or not for getting into tight spaces. But anyways, what you do is shake this up at least a minute, but I do it a little bit longer. Then you screw this on, and you invert it. You have the can upside down, and right away you fill the gun, or you open the valve and fill the gun by squirting it. You squirt it into a garbage can, or I just do it on the ground. It makes a blob that expands on the ground. Well, maybe not with the dog here. That's the first thing she would go after. So you fill the gun, and then once the gun is filled, you let go of the trigger, it's not going to squirt anymore. Then you can just foam whatever you need to foam. About an hour later, you can trim it, and you can paint it, whatever you want. This stuff is the gaps and cracks. It'll fill voids and stuff like that, which is what I want. And they have the other one that is or minimally expanding, so that it won't buckle your windows and stuff, just like the little cans that you get at the hardware store. You can get this at Menards. They sell the guns as well as this. And then this is the cleaner. When you're done, you clean the tip, and then you leave it on the can. You got about 30 days to use it before it'll harden up. If it hardens in the gun is shot. You just throw it away. So when you finally do take the gun off of the can, you screw it onto this right away, and you squirt the cleaner through the gun into a garbage, and get her nice and cleaned up. And this is basically just acetone. So this is not acetone, but I have a container the same size, a gallon container of acetone that I use if I get this stuff on my hands. It is incredibly sticky, and it takes forever to wear off. So having a little bit of acetone, or you can spray it from this. Under here, this is a spray tip for spraying it like a regular paint can or whatever, and then it's threaded out here to screw onto here. Okay, let me get this stuff foamed, then I can apply PL3X Premium Loctite adhesive. I'm going to put a 1/4 inch bead on every stud, as well as on the top of this ledger, and I'm going to nail in certain places and screw in other places my OSB in place. Okay, I got this stuff all shaken up, and hopefully AC starts just in time, and the cat starts panicking. Okay, have that on. Now I open up the tip, and the gun is filled. So I want to get it behind there. Okay, that should do that. You actually gotta move kind of quick with this stuff, because you want to get the tip wiped off. And I don't know if I'm showing this very good or not. See this tip, that stuff will harden on there. when you jam this stuff into a gap like that, it gets all over the tip, and you don't want that to dry. So I'm going to move kind of fast. Okay, that should do it for now. I should have had this already, but I didn't. I think that this new, where is she? Oh, there she is. Hi, kitty. I gave you a place to get down. Come on, kitty. Okay, well, I have to go deal with her. But I think this is like Teflon coated or something, because the other ones got so messy. And I don't even know if this camera's pointing. I guess it is. Okay, I'll be right back. I got the cat down. She was just going nuts, yelling and yelling, and I wasn't about to start working with that going on. So these are filled. I think they're probably expanded as far as they're going to. I don't think I have to do much of anything with them. I'd kind of like to trim them before, so the insulation fits in there really nice, but I really don't want to wait. I could put the back ones on, because this will go right over the window here. This is 16 feet, so it's just 2 panels back here. Maybe I'll do that right away and then come back to this. This trim's real easy. Just trim this with a knife. I know it's a little bit anal, but insulation does not like to be condensed. The insulation on this is, what is it? Well, it's actually called high density insulation. It's R21. But we will be cutting it and taking off 1.5 inches and sliding it into the corner, not just pressing it in there. When you condense insulation like that, you lose more than just the thickness in R value. So you really, really need to do the insulation right, or you pay for it for many, many years to come. So I think I'm going to do that. Spin around to this side. I just got to mark where my glue ends on these two. It's right, half of this blocking on all the blocking, and the sheets have, yeah, that's right. Oh no, I can do a plunge cut for this window. I do have to cut, just like I did on those panels, I have to cut 26 inches up for this window, but I don't want to cut the full opening right away. But I will have to. Okay, so I'll start with that one, full sheet. Get into the swing of things, and then I'll come back, cut this one, get this one installed, and then my foam should be ready to trim. And then I already have 2 sheets cut for that, so maybe I can get something done before the next rain. Okay, one down. Looks real good. I think my foam is ready, so I'm going to trim this, and then I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 panels on. Then I'll do some trimming right at the house and get those last 2 ones. That'll be it for the lower panels. Then it gets 2-foot panels in the middle. The joints get staggered by about 2 feet. In this case, well, we'll figure that out later. I'll use a small scrap piece there. Because it's completely within the window area, I'll just use a chunk there, and then I'll probably go with a full sheet here and then another partial sheet here. Not real important, as long I just don't want the joints to be all in line. You want them to be at least 2 feet apart, but this is 16-inch spacing, so they'll be at least 32 inches, but I believe it'll be more than that. So let me go get a knife and trim this foam, which is pretty easy. I mean, it'll just take me a couple seconds. FYI, this stuff is rated as a fire stop too. So if you have like wiring going between a lower floor and an upper floor, code requires you to have a fire stop in that hole that your wiring goes through, and this stuff will do the trick. So you just go around and foam up all the passages from one floor to the next, and if you do have a fire, it's not going to follow that up into the next floor. Okay, so let me get this trimmed and then I'll start on these panels.